No stone is true.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure foe. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show. Introducing the Ballin' Bud 703 Boys Crew, Clubber D, Dirty Mojo, Shane Peach, and the Sports Professor. Welcome to Sunday Showdown. Yo.
I can't take it anymore.
This is not, we do not own any copyrights to this music. I want everyone to know we do not own any copyrights. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, can you turn that off, please? Before you get us Whitney Houston ass. Stop.
I can't take it anymore, guys. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Damn it, bro.
Get us canceled. All right, save that for later. Yo, what up, friends? Welcome to Sunday Showdown. One of us has gone off of the ledge. So far off the ledge, he decided to play copyrighted tunes. That's okay. We'll roll with it. It was just the instrumental. No, shout out. We're here with another episode of Sunday Showdown, NFL College news, recaps, and picks here with the 703 Boys. I am the Sports Professor. We got Clubber D, we got Dirty Mojo, and we got Shane Peacher. You can find him at PeachOMania. Dirty Mojo remains elusive on the interwebs, and Clubber D you can find at Clubber D, which is actually at that link tree at the top. Hit that QR code. You can find all of our socials, including Clubber D's as well. That being said, how are we feeling today, gentlemen, aside from you and I, Lamar, as you took a loss and I'm about to take a loss? Anyone? No? Okay.
Sorry, I was still laughing at Lamar. I'm okay.
I thought he was going to start.
I thought he was going to rock and roll. Yeah. It's all good.
Hey, okay, you just gonna wait. All right, we can wait. Peach, how are you feeling today?
Well, my ass whipping's about to come in about an hour. I would assume.
You know what? Let's just get right into it because there were a lot of close games. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Indeed, we had the Thanksgiving weekend games. So we did have 3 on that Thursday. The Lions-Packers was first. Packers going into Ford Field to play the Detroit Lions, 31-24. Packers victory. Jordan Love matches a career high 4 touchdown passes. So, we talked about that. We talk about it every week, guys. Ups and downs of Jordan Love, right? And this was going to be an up week. It was supposed to be, and clearly it was. Beating the Detroit in their home field is big, and in a huge divisional game that gets them 1 game above Detroit. Clubber D, what were your thoughts on this Packers-Lions game?
A little pissed off about that game because fantasy purposes only, I had started Lamar Jackson instead of Jordan Love, and Jordan Love turned into Aaron Rodgers mixed with Brett Favre, that game. Mm-hmm. The Lions, what's going on? I don't understand this. We were talking about the Packers being up and down, not sure what we get, but the Lions, they don't flip-flop into that now. I don't even know if they're going to win against the Cowboys now with Amon-Ra St. Brown, depending on his injury. But good. Yeah. You know what? Shout out to the Packers. You did your thing. You proved me wrong because I had the Lions putting a belt to ass. But, yeah, shout out to the Packers, man. Good for them. Good win on their behalf.
Yeah, Dirty Mojo, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, when we talked about it last week, right before Thanksgiving, we thought this was going to be a Jordan Love down game. And, I think I had made a comment that, the Lions are going to come in there with their silver helmets, their blue jerseys and their silver breeches. And sure enough, they did come in there and do that. It was a big win for Green Bay to come in there and do what they did, and they looked unstoppable the entire game. Offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. And you said that it drops them again in the division, but most importantly, it puts them 2 games behind the 49ers in the wild card spot. So those guys are looking up at this point now, where a couple weeks ago they were looking down at everybody in the NFC conference. So right now, man, that's a huge win for Green Bay, a huge loss for the Detroit Lions. And I'm not sure if the Lions are going to be able to claw their way back into the playoffs the way that things are going in that division and in the NFC.
I mean, it's a tough division, but I mean, it's still 7-4. They do still have a good chance to make one of the wild cards. But yes, it definitely makes it tougher for them and easier, obviously, Green Bay being one up in the division now, to actually win that division and make Detroit have to win a wild card and then go play on the road where they don't have that home field advantage like they do in Detroit. Peach, what are your thoughts?
I think the Detroit Lions are in big trouble, gentlemen, because if you come in 3rd place in that division, you ain't making the playoffs with how good the West is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, 2 teams are coming out of the West, and that means that 2nd place team in their division will be the team that gets into the playoffs, I believe. As Lamar said last week, we talked about the old Lions on Thanksgiving. That's what they looked like this week. And Jordan Love just tore them up, and he had one of his good weeks. And that was a very, very bad loss for them, especially, we'll talk about it later, them dang Bears upsetting the Eagles. That's a killer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it all right as we're getting deeper into the realm of where the playoffs are going to break out. We get into the spider web of possibilities of what could happen if who wins where in these last few games. One thing that I want to point out is for Detroit, because yes, we've already talked about the Green Bay ups and downs, and now we could, as Cupboard D kind of mentioned, talk about maybe Detroit is kind of going that way. Both still 2 talented teams. They have the talent there. The win-loss records are still there. So at the point that they're at, the things that need to be considered at this point is what do they need to clean up? And for the Lions, I really keep continuing to hit on the fact that Dan Campbell is now calling the plays. And while that has led to Jahmyr Gibbs last week having a huge game, not so much this past week. It leads me to think that maybe they are missing Ben Johnson a lot more than they like to give off, so to say. And that can hurt them down the stretch and in the playoffs, because if you have Dan Campbell calling the plays, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's able to with everything else that he has going on in the game.
Yeah.
So shout out everybody. Look at that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, to touch on that, the offensive coordinator got fired how long ago?
3 weeks, 4 weeks.
So I mean, if you look at it was after the Philly game, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you look at after that, Dan Campbell is calling a great offensive game. Their defense is giving up a lot of points, and all the losses that they've had, they're giving up a lot of points. Last year, their defense was the reason that they lost anyways. So it wasn't their offense; it was their defense. So if we look at them now, they just gave up 31 points to Green Bay. Last week they played the Giants and they pulled that off, and they gave up what was like 30 points, 28 points, 30 points against the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at this point, it's not the offense is having trouble; it's the defense. Maybe he should call the offense and the defense, because the defense is not carrying them through the games to win these games.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you make. And I guess I'm kind of leaning more towards the side that I'm thinking his play calling is too predictable because of how much running they're doing. It's just like it's very vanilla. It's very that people know what's coming kind of thing. So yeah, they can still score points because of the amount of talent that they have. They got Gibbs, they got St. Rob Brown, like they got Jared Goff. But at the same time, that is something I'm looking forward to them needing to clean up before they get into the playoffs, is maybe more varied play calling of sorts. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an offensive coordinator. That's just kind of what I was thinking there. Because a lot of times when I'm looking, I'm like, all right, well, this play calling seems really predictable. But hey, I mean, both things can be right. We can both be correct, and those things still be true. So.
One thing I want to add on that, and Lamar, since he switched over to calling the plays, And when you're the head coach, some coaches are used to doing it, calling up plays and being head coach. Is he having somebody help him with clock management and look at other parts of the game? You know what I mean? Because like back when McVay was head coach and Wade Phillips was calling the D, pause if that sounds wild, he kind of just let Wade Phillips do whatever he wanted to do and just focus on the offense. And, certain crucial points of the game, McVay's over there, drawing up plays and stuff on the sideline, just let Wade Phillips do what he has to do. So is that same type of dynamic happening for the Lions as well? Is he juggling too many things? I would say balls, but that'd be a pause. But is he juggling too many things being head coach and play caller for the first time when he's just been head coach?
Well, like I said, I get that. The offense has still put up points. The defense gave up 31 points. So he's still listening to what's going on defensively. Offensively, yeah, is he listening to who's calling timeouts? If they're saying let's go for it on fourth down or punt or fake or something like that, of course he still has that input into it. And if he's calling offensive plays, which I think he's capable of doing, he's doing what he needs to do offensively. Now, had they lost this game 31-10, had they been in a struggle against the Giants and won 13-7, then I'd have been like, yeah, maybe he's putting up points offensively. The defense isn't doing anything. It is almost like to what Peach said a few weeks ago with the Washington Commanders. Does Dan Quinn need to step in and start taking care of the defense? And when they did, they played a little better that defensively that game that he came back, right? I don't think so much. And Dan Campbell is he's a defensive coach. Am I right or wrong?
No, he's offense.
Well, I thought he was offensive line.
He's offense because he's ex-tight end. Yeah.
Well, even with that mishap or whatever, he's calling offensive plays, but somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing on the defensive side of the ball. They were throwing that ball all over Detroit. Detroit had no answers for anybody over there. And he needs to step up and say something to the defense coordinator, like, you guys got to get this stuff going the right way, or somebody else will be calling the defensive plays.
It's kind of like Aaron Glenn was there last year. So yeah, go ahead, Peach. My bad.
I also think he's taking too many points off the board, man. Like, it's one thing to go for it on fourth down as much as they do. But when you're inside the 15, you can get points, you take them, especially in these kind of close games. They keep losing games. Like you said, they're not getting blown out, but they're losing points multiple times a game because he's being too aggressive. And like I said, Jared Goff is a little off this year. He's okay, but he's like one of them guys that turns into a pumpkin, man. And he's turning into it a little bit earlier this year.
Jared Goff and Jared off? No? Crickets? Snap? No?
That joke. No. Hey, Peach, that's a great point. That is a great point where you leave points on the board like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand that type of shit, man. I can't stand teams leaving points on the board.
He's doing it stupid times. Like, if you're down double digits, okay, you go for it, right?
Laugh track.
He's doing it when they're tied, when the game is tied.
Right.
Going for it, taking the points and getting the lead.
And that's a big momentum shake too. When you go for it on fourth down and don't get it, that's a big momentum switch.
Happened against us last year, or 2 years ago in the NFC Championship game. Those crucial times when he could have kicked field goals, but he wanted to go for it, and they ended up costing him the game.
Yeah.
And Peach, I love that you brought that up because that goes with my professor's fact here. With 2 failed conversions against Green Bay, Detroit is now 0 for 7 on fourth down conversions since week 11. Wow. That's only 3 weeks, which is tied for the most fourth down attempts in the league, and by far the most attempts without a conversion.
I wonder how many of those fourth down conversions were inside field goal range where they could have those 7 to 21 points, depending
probably
on
a lot of
them
them
worked.
Probably a lot of them, as Peach pointed out.
That game against the Eagles, it was huge, and they were definitely inside of the 20. You know what I mean? At least twice, and it was a tie game at that point. Like, that's where I have an issue. Get the lead.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to score touchdowns, but get the points and take the lead.
And with the lead in the division, Green Bay also has a 66% chance to make the playoffs. Let's get to some comments here. Catch up on these. Shout out everybody. Zach Wild 5545. Redskins win the 2027 Super Bowl. Prove me wrong. That's a Peach question. Peach, what do you have to say to your fellow Commanders fan who still calls them by their old name? So he must be from DC.
Racist
on Madden? Yeah, sure. On Madden.
On. Yeah. All right, so guess not.
Hey, buddy, make sure you play on reality. Rookie, though. Play on rookie. In reality, man, right now I have no confidence in them doing
No. I responded with him with he said reality. I said reality. That's reality will tell you that. That's who's gonna tell you.
Now if Jaden Daniels is to come back healthy, right? I mean, y'all did go to the conference championship last year versus Detroit, or was that the same fight? Whatever.
Fool's gold. It was fool's gold.
Okay, wow.
Shitty quarterback.
Was hurt last year. Jordan had
No,
a lot of injuries.
I think Jaden is going to be awesome. I don't trust that defense at all, and I've been saying that. And I think we need to fire our coach, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, after we fire him next year, I don't.
Yeah, I was going to say not yet. Not yet.
Coach.
Yeah, it might be another next year or something.
Lane
All
Kiffin.
Hey, shout out Skywalker Boxeo. Salute to you, our brother.
Homie.
Make sure y'all tap in Skywalker Boxeo on Facebook, Skywalker Boxing Media on YouTube. Clubber D 49ers out. They played well today. Yeah, they won today. He said, "What you sipping on?" You responded with good old double IPA by Other Half. Never had that one.
Yeah, DC joint. They're in DC.
Okay.
They're in Chicago also.
Shout out to them then. Shout out to hey, Big Roo. What up, boys? Coming from Puerto Rico. Let's go, Wepa.
Get about a coquito.
Skywalker, I know, right? I'm smoking some bud, listening to you guys. Hey, 420, baby. Talk that NFL. I'll give you credit on your sports knowledge because I have a hard time keeping up with boxing. Well, hey, we appreciate it, brother, especially coming from someone which is such a boxing networker and connoisseur.
Please.
And then DJ in Dallas 7749 shout out says, did he say Dan Quinn or Campbell? I wasn't paying that much attention. I thought he was just said Dan Quinn because I just figured that.
I might have.
So I'm not sure.
It happens.
It happens.
We're human.
I'm getting Anthony Sims Jr. to come tonight to cook on Whitaker fight. Be messing with Ernest too. Nice. Y'all go tap in with him if you want some boxing talk tonight, y'all. Skywalker Boxing Media. Y'all got to tap in with them for boxing talk.
Anthony Sims is a pro fighter. Y'all check him out. Whitaker just had a crazy first round knockout over in England, I think. And Sims wants to fight him. So y'all tune in some good boxing knowledge for you know what? I will say this. All right. If I didn't hurt my shoulder, I'll probably be in that ring too. That's another story. Carry on, Omar.
There you go. Make sure everybody hits that like button. Don't just peek and leave. Hit that like button. Give us something.
Yeah, do a little boop, just like that.
And make sure you subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Don't forget that handy QR code up at the top. CJ in Dallas 7749. You think the 49ers taking over the division, the Rams loss going a long way? That is a Clubber D question.
Absolutely not. The Rams just had a bad game going cross country. I know the Niners played at one, but Cleveland compared to Carolina's way on the other side. Cleveland's halfway, and we went against a rookie quarterback. Carolina's very good at home. And I think that game is one of those do games. The Rams are a superior team. They're better than us. So I don't see us doing that. I mean, we have a kind of a cupcake schedule until we'll see how really good the Bears are. But I think we have a bye, then we have Tennessee next. So we can get to 10 wins, which I predicted beginning of the season. I think we'll have a good chance to be second place, but I don't think we're going to win the division.
All right, there you go. Let's move it on to the next game on the slate. We had Kansas City versus Cowboys, 31-28 Cowboys victory at home. Wow, this really puts a hurting on the Chiefs' chances. Now going another game behind Denver, or half a game. The Cowboys, really big win for them with the what Peach said, and we'll talk about in just a second, Eagles loss. So this was a really crucial game for both teams involved. What do we got to say on this one, Peach? We are starting with you.
I think Kansas City might be officially out. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, gentlemen. Okay. I don't. I think this, and you just saw the Chargers just won as well. So they're another game behind them. That is huge. I never thought I would see Patrick Mahomes not in the playoffs this time of his career.
How crazy
but
is
man,
that?
I think we're about to see it, gentlemen. I think we are.
Now at 6-6, they do still have a chance to make that last wild card. So you don't think they can make that at all? You just think they're completely done?
I think they need to win out. I think they need to win out, and their schedule is too tough. Just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, Dirty Mojo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, Patrick Mahomes, he's a magician, but damn, man, he's doing a lot for that team to help them win. And I mean, the numbers that he put up were I mean, their MVP numbers, like he's been doing for the last couple of years. He cannot carry that team again like he did for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? It blows my mind. I mean, we talked about this, guys. We thought that Dallas was going to beat them because Dallas is getting hot at the right time. If we want to, we can talk about the past and whatever. I mean, the Colts. I mean, the Chiefs came back to beat the Colts, where that could have been a loss for them too, man. They got that win. Mahomes clawed and scraped his way to get them back to win that game against the Colts the week before that they won. But yeah, Peach, you're right, man. I mean, look at the AFC South, the Texans beating the Colts. Now they're up in. I mean, that the AFC is so high right now. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC, from the Bills winning, from the from, like you said, the Chargers winning. Denver, if you say Denver wins again tonight, there's too many different variables that they need to happen for them to make it, along with winning out. They still got to play Denver one more time. They still got to play the Chargers one more time. They're if anything, I don't see them winning their last 5 games. If they were to lose one more game, they're done. They're not going to get in with being a 7-loss team. For right now, them getting in with the six losses, the way other teams are playing, it's hard for me to say it. You can't count them out because they are Kansas City. They do have arguably one of the best coaches to ever coach football right now. So who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, man, it's. I think we're checking. We're poking, and the fat lady's she's getting warmed up for them.
Yeah, and so when you think about the Chiefs and their chances, right? Everybody says it. They have to win out. Every game is a play-in game, basically, from here. But they also lost 3 of their starting linemen in this game. Now, finished without 3 of their starting linemen: Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, and Josh Simmons. So that's really going to hurt them if those guys are out any type of long term. Clubber D?
Yeah, that's football. I mean, they didn't say that when they play other teams who were hurting. So it is what it is. You got to deal with it. I think the Chiefs, if they do lose one more, that might be a wrap for them. Like you guys said, it's kind of wild seeing that they're not really in it or on top of the AFC West since Mahomes took over. They've been a beast team, and even seeing them on the road in the playoffs would be wild. Last time we saw them on the road was when D4 was offsides against the Patriots, and they lost that game. So yeah, I think they're probably gonna lose 2 or 3 more, and that's gonna be a wrap for them this year. And they'll just retool and be back next year. But it is definitely a down year for the Chiefs, and it's a long time coming.
Long time coming, as both you and Pete said. The Cowboys, though, now beating the Chiefs and the Eagles in a span of 5 days. They've won 3 straight games. They're above 500 for the first time since week 5 last week. No one expected them to kind of be in this situation, and they put themselves in a bad spot early on. But the past 3 weeks have looked a lot better, so there's possibly a chance that with their record, they could still sneak into a wild card. So we'll see what happens there. But for both of these teams, they're really living on the edge.
Yeah,
well, let's not forget about the curse of the NFC East of nobody winning back-to-back. Think about that. I thought it was over a month ago. I thought the Eagles they're going to break that streak. Not so fast, my friends. The Cowboys are coming, and the Eagles are falling off. And boy, oh boy, are we going to have a hell of an end of this season for the NFC East. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Peach. It's going to be a fun ending to the NFC East. It is an uphill battle for the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys are hot right now. Ever since the unfortunate loss of one of their players to a self-inflicted wound, you know what I'm saying? They've been playing with a little bit of spirit, and they've been playing with a little bit of tenacity with them. Going back to the Kansas City Chiefs, though, man, we talked about this last year. We talked about this at the beginning of this season. The Kansas City Chiefs last year, they went 8-0 in 1-score games.
Yeah.
This year they're 1-6 in 1-score games. It's a big difference, and I think that's what I talked about at the beginning of the season of why I didn't believe that they were going to be as good as they were, because they got a lot of those games last year off the hair of the chinny chin. So I mean, right now, man, the 6 losses that they have, they're 1-score games that last year would have went in their favor. So I mean, that's something to look out. They're still close to in these games. Can they pull off these victories? But 5 games left, they're really, really, really far behind. They have a lot of stuff that they got to do to catch up.
Yeah, no, agreed completely. Okay, cool. The next 2 games were of the Thanksgiving and Friday game slate were kind of blowouts, so we're going to lump these 2 in together. But we did have the Bengals blowing out the Ravens 32-14. Obviously, I mean, that kind of stunts the Ravens a little bit now because they've won 4 in a row. Now they're still there, just like Kansas City. But again, at 6-6, kind of like you have to win out now. We also had the Bears going into the Eagles and winning by 9, 24 to 15. So we're just going to kind of lump both of these games in together because there's a lot of games to talk about. Clubber D, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm pissed off on both of those games. One, you had it set up perfect for Lamar to do his thing against one of the worst defenses the NFL has seen in quite some time, and shits the bed. Then you have the Bears run all over the Eagles. They couldn't stop the run for shit. So I'm a little ticked off about that. I kind of called it because I said it's the perfect scenario for Dallas to win those two games and the Eagles to lose two games, and that will bump Dallas up. And in turn that happening, I'm getting messages from Dallas fans who haven't said shit to me in years, showing me stuff about Mahomes. Someone sent me a video of Dak holding Mahomes like a little baby. You are one game above 500. Shut the hell up. Calm down. Just enjoy the win and just keep it moving. You don't have to, act like y'all been there before because you haven't in a while. So just enjoy these wins and just get better. But yeah, I knew that I had a feeling that would happen. And it's good parity that the NFL needs, and it's going to bring more eyes on everything. So come Thursday night when Dallas plays, everybody's going to be talking about that also.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to not easing Joe Burrow back in. Here's your professor's fact. He became the first player this season to have more than 40 attempts, 40 or more, through the first three quarters. In fact, his 42 attempts before the final quarter were the most ever for a QB since himself back in week 3 of 2023 against the Rams. So, as always, if Joe Burrow's in the game, he's going to be gun-slinging the ball. Dirty Mojo, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I thought that they were going to ease him in, but I mean, it just shows.
I left him on my fantasy bench because I thought they were going to ease him in. I was like,
bro, it just shows you the difference in your
different
backup
league,
and your
yeah.
starter, and your starter and your backup. It's completely out of now. I will say that that Flacco came in there and he did his best and he maintained and he held his own. But the way that Joe Burrow commanded that offense is unreal. That's his team. That's his offense. They built that offense around him. Jamar Chase had another fantastic game. He didn't score a touchdown, but he had some good numbers, and they were still down T. Higgins on that sideline. So I mean on that field. So having that whole group back, those boys are going to be able to be a team that can upset some people. I'm pretty sure that they probably still got to play the Steelers again, right? They probably have to play the Steelers again sometime again by the end of the season. So they might go out there and win that game. As far as the Bears are concerned, man, the Bears rushing team I mean, God, Leo, they had two guys over 120 yards yesterday with touch. I mean, that's and we're gonna go back to Philly and talk about Philly. We've been saying this, guys. We don't expect Philly's offense to put up 25, 20 points. We expect them to be low scoring, but we were expecting them to do what? To put the clinch on teams and keep those games and those things low, kind of like what they did to the Lions a few weeks ago when they won that game against the Lions. They're not doing it. And that's what's concerning to me is that they're not scoring any points, but this defense is supposed to be so vaunted and so great. Well, they lost a lot of players on that defensive line that went everywhere. And you know what I'm saying, them having all those Georgia Bulldogs on their defense, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Giving up almost 300 rushing yards is unfucking real in the NFL, man. Crazy. So big guys. But I do want to go back one more to the Dallas Cowboys, which was kind of funny. We talked about it. They're gonna want to have some stories to talk about. The media is gonna want to have some stories to talk about. Let the Dallas Cowboys start to creep back in there. That gives the national media something to talk about. America's team, Dallas Cowboys, this, that, and the third. So are they going to start to get a little bit of those Kansas City Chiefs calls to keep them in the game for the rest of the season or what? What are we talking here? Sorry, Dale.
He'd be all right.
There you go. And on the other side of things, before we did talk about Peach, Lamar Jackson, and how they had won 5 games in a row. Now that streak is now ended. He turned the ball over 3 times for the first time in 4 years. It marks only the 5th time he's turned the ball 3 times or more in his 8-year career. As well, Baltimore, here's another professor's fact, 20 points for the first time, over 20 points for the first time since October 5th. So they've gone 6 games without that. You've got to have for this team to go, it's shown that you needed Lamar Jackson to be at his best. And if he's turning the ball over, it's kind of like with Jalen Hurts. If he's turning the ball over, if he's throwing interceptions, the Eagles offense will as well shrink. So kind of, I guess you can kind of even lump both of those together. But what do you think about both of these games?
Bad loss for the Ravens, but they were lucky that, the Steelers lost today.
Mm-hmm.
But we all last week, I think we brought up, Burrow is going to be a little rusty. So much for that analysis. Like you said, over 40-something passes going right down the field. And here's what none of us said yet. Do you realize that the Bengals are only 2 games out of first place in that division? And they play all those teams again.
Technically right.
And Burrow's back.
Wow.
They're only 2 games back. If they can somehow pull a miracle off, that would be one of the greatest stories of the year.
Must see TV. That division.
That division, like it's coming down to the last week, like Lamar said weeks ago. But it might not be with the 2 teams we thought. It might be with all 3 of them. So that's
what a tremendous second segue, Peach. I love how we keep segueing together here. Last year, the Bengals ripped off 5 straight wins to close the season with the 9-8 record. Now, that will obviously be a little tougher, as you mentioned, with the teams they have to play, but they did it last year, so
but
it could.
But the teams that they need to pass too, so it's a good schedule in that regard. Because if you win those games, you're also gaining. So it's big. Now, on to the worst thing ever.
I was about to say, how does this legitimize your arch nemesis, baby?
I do not die on hills, people. I don't do that. The Bears are a good team. They're legit.
Okay.
The NFC is up for grabs. I don't know who the best team is. Last week, what did I say? It was the Rams, right? Then they get upset by Carolina this week. Unbelievable. Who's the best team? Everybody's lumped together. I don't know who's going to win the NFC. It could be Dallas, which would make me sick. Like, if they come back. Dion, you think you're going to hear from people?
Oh, I know.
Now,
it's gonna be...
if that happens, oh my God, just let me leave the internet for good. I might miss it. I might leave this show because them people will be coming out.
I'm podcasting on MySpace.
So
hey, Peach is smart though. Let me tell you what Peach did. Peach is smart as shit though, because every time we've talked about a team being the best team in the NFL, guess what happens to them? They start to fucking lose. You are a smart son of a bitch, Peach. So Peach is talking about how good the Bears are.
Seed, and they're going to lose 3 games number 1 seed. Let's go.
The reverse psychology jinx.
But he's absolutely right. The Bears are playing the best football right now, right there. With the loss today, are they the number 1 team in the NFC? So it's crazy. But we've talked about this with who? With the Colts, with the Patriots, with the Eagles, and we talked about this with these guys, the Packers, and what ended up happening afterwards. Like, well, damn, man, we must have spoke too soon. So, good shit, Peach. I see what you're doing. I saw what you did there.
I'm with you, Dirty Mojo, because I had been calling the Bears fraudulent, kind of like the Broncos, but now we're seeing that they might be a little legitimate, right? At 9-3, maybe they're actually, a good team, and maybe we have to think about them going on the road and beating the Super Bowl defending champions. We might have to start thinking playoffs in Chicago.
Here's why they're for real, gentlemen, because Caleb Williams doesn't have to be Superman, and they're still winning the games. They can run the ball down your throat. They don't play the best defense, but what do? They turn the ball over, and it's every week. It's not just a lucky thing anymore to me. That's what they do. They turn the ball over. That defense comes after you. They get the ball.
Well, let's do this though. We do have to look at their schedule, right? They got the Cleveland Browns still to play, but they got 2 games against Green Bay, 1 against the 49ers, 1 against Detroit. Those are all winning teams. Those are all those 3 teams aside from Cleveland are 3 teams out of their last 5 games. Those out of those games that they got, those 3 of those teams are fighting for playoff spots. So they're not going to just roll over like, you know what I'm saying, like anybody's going to do. So the Eagles didn't roll over, but still in all, they're in the division opponent. So I mean, But I'm going to say what I said about the Bengals too. They're tough games, but they're games that can pull them away because they're division games, right? You're right.
If they win those games, it's a wrap in that division.
Yeah, they win 2 more games. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
No
doubt. I think they're in anyways. I think they're going to be in anyways, but that's just me.
Yeah.
We're talking about winning the division. If they beat the Packers and Lions, it's over.
Yeah, there you go. And actually, we have some questions and comments that we need to catch up on, but they're perfect timing. Shout out to Jets Girl. Says, thoughts on Love's chances to win a ring this season at 9-3-1? And if he does, is he ranked with Rodgers and Favre? I have something on this because I've said it on my other show, so I'll let everybody else go first. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
I'll go real quick. Chances on winning a ring, if he plays Madden, he'll win a ring. If he plays a claw game and maneuvers that correctly, he can get a ring. As far as this year, no, he's too inconsistent.
Okay. Other Peach, Dirty Mojo, y'all both.
I agree. I don't think they're going to win it. They're just too inconsistent. They play one hell of a game, and then you can't do that, especially in the playoffs. I will say this: even if he did win a Super Bowl, he's not up there with Rodgers and Favre yet. Let's slow it down a little bit. Can he have at least 2 consistent seasons in a row, please?
Give me MVP first. Give me MVP first.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. Shout out to Jets Girl. We appreciate you. Y'all tap in with the Rec Room. She's with AP and everybody else over there at the Rec Room, and she's does stuff for Audible Podcast. Bobby G and
Lamar didn't like her today.
I know, right?
I peeped it. And I was just keep my mouth closed. But thanks, Dion. Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah. As for my thoughts on this, Jets Girl, I said this on my other show, but I love stories. I love storylines. The fact of the matter is Rodgers and Favre both won at their age 27 years, and Jordan Love is age 27 now. They all won after their former, quarterbacks left for other teams, and it all happened the same way. So if it's serendipitous, then it would happen to be that way. I could see it happening.
If we're doing storylines, I also do a storyline that the Niners didn't win was it Super Bowl 89 when we won. We won on the road the first 2 games by 2 different quarterbacks. We did the same thing this year. So
hey, there you go.
I want Mark Twain writing our shit too.
Hey, there you go. I love storylines. I love that. Shout out to X Egu. What do you think about Lane Kiffin going to LSU? We're gonna get to that. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little college football right now with the coaches. Yeah, go ahead.
I fucking hate it. I hate it. I don't hate the fact that Kiffin went to LSU. I don't hate that fact. I hate the fact that he went during the season. And this is something that Brian Kelly did a few years ago, back in 05-06, when he left Cincinnati before Cincinnati played Florida in the bowl game and went to fucking Notre Dame. I think it's bullshit. I think the NCAA needs to step in and start saying you cannot reach out to a fucking coach middle of a season. He's now leaving some kids that he was sitting in their parents' fucking living room telling them, come to my school. I'm going to do this for your son. I'm going to do that for your son. And then you fucking leave them right before the playoffs. I don't fucking like that shit. And same thing with LSU. I don't fucking like that shit that LSU's doing. I was pissed off when Notre Dame did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you wait till after the season's over? If he really wants to go to LSU, he's going to go there after this fucking season's over. They shouldn't be able to tamper with coaches like this. You can't do that shit in the NFL. In the NFL, you have to wait until a team has been eliminated from the playoffs. And they don't even allow you to talk to coaches until the season is fucking over. And if you want to speak to a coach that's in the playoffs, you have to wait till the playoffs is over, or I think until he's made it to the AFC or NFC championship game before you can start reaching out and talk to him. It's bullshit. I don't like it. I think it needs to be stopped because that's not fair. Kids got to stay with the program, but a coach can fucking leave right before a playoff game. That's bullshit. I don't like it. And if Lane Kiffin were to come to my house to speak to my son LJ, I would tell him to kick rocks, man. Get the fuck out of my fucking living room, man. I don't want my son to play for you because your ass might fucking leave them when they really need your ass to be out there. I don't like it. I don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find any disagreement from me in terms of Lane Kiffin. There was even this kerfuffle this week with the podcaster who had said you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and he got all upset and went after him. Look, Lane Kiffin has a propensity to go from job to job. You can call it whatever you want. He has a propensity to leave those teams. So you're not going to get any disagreement from me on Lane Kiffin being a piece of trash and just leaving for greener pastures whenever he gets the chance. You're also not going to get any disagreement, and you will get agreement with me on the fact that they need to fix A, the transfer portal dates, and B, the bowl schedules. They need to move the transfer portal dates back and the bowl schedule dates forward, or at least realign them so they're separated, so that way you have that period where coaches can be legally talked to. Because I agree, it is kind of fucked up for it to happen mid-playoffs. The one thing I have to disagree with in part, and only because, and again, you know me, I am one of, if not the biggest Lane Kiffin hater on the planet for what he did to my Raiders and everything else after that. But Lane Kiffin told them that he wanted to stay on and coach. And they, Ole Miss were like, no, we're giving you an ultimatum. You either take the job, go to LSU. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to be mad at him, but you can't necessarily be mad at Lane Kiffin either than saying, all right, well, the job's offered now. This is when it's offered. I need to take it. I'm still willing to coach the team. And they were like, no, you either got to stay here or you got to go now and not coach the team in the bowl team.
But Omar, what I think I'm getting at is that I'm not upset that Lane Kiffin went to LSU. I'm upset when. And why can LSU come and talk to a coach who's coaching a fucking team that's one loss in the SEC? Had Alabama lost last night, they would have been in the SEC fucking championship game. How are you talking to a coach? Like, what the fuck is that shit?
Well, you got to look at it. You got the governor and everybody and their mama in Louisiana trying to get the top coach. And I'm with you 110%. But the same way what Omar mentioned, just to tie both of y'all stuff together, just like the players, you know, when a coach leaves or he gets fired, a kid could just say, you know what, I want to decommit. I don't want to be here no more. After playing a game or two, they have 20 days to enter the transfer portal. So they need to change that across the board, you know what I'm saying, with the kids and with the coaches. And then with the coaches, there should be something in a contract with these schools. If you leave us, you can't leave us until the season's over with, because that's a disservice to all the kids, all the time you spent building that bond with those families, and them saying, yes, we want to come to your school and get paid by your school. And then you just say, you know what, I'm going to go to LSU. Not that I'm leaving the SEC. Oh, wait. I'm still in the SEC, but I'm just going to go to LSU, a better school that, even though I built Ole Miss to where it is right now, and you know, it's a disservice. I honestly thought he's going to go to the Giants. I thought he was going to go pro, but I mean, he's going to go LSU about 3, 4, 5 years and go pro. So,
I don't want to stay on this very long because I know we got to get back to the NFL, right? My thing is this: when it comes to the coaches, as far as that's concerned, right? You're coaching an Ole Miss team who has been competitive the last 3 or 4 years. They were Alabama losing. They were Auburn's not dropping the ball all game last night. Auburn upsetting Alabama, being in the SEC championship game. We cannot say no more. We want to get them, like they used to say back in the day. Oh, we want to get the coaches in there early so they can start recruiting. It ain't even like that no more. Especially with NIL, especially with all this transfer portal shit. He could get in there and fucking May, and kids would say, "I'm transferring to LSU to play for LSU."
Yep.
So that's bullshit. Go Hokies. So that's bullshit. My thing is this. LSU and with NCAA, you guys have to stop this, having teams reach out to coaches while they're in contract during the season. Had next week came and it was in a playoff or what? It was a playoff game or what? I mean, the playoff system. Ole Miss ends up fucking losing, and Ole Miss loses. Now they're out. The season's over. By all means, LSU, go ahead and start talking to him and get things going. But they've been talking about this shit for the last month. That shit is not fair, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it. I
don't mean to cut you off. You're about to jump in. Only reason I think they act early is, one, you don't know how fast these jobs will be taken, and two, national signing days like what, next week or the week after?
No. The national signing date is February, the first Wednesday in February.
What's the signing that's coming up?
They have like a December one, something like that.
Yeah, something in December. It's like a letter of intent or something like that coming next week. I know that for a fact.
And also, it's just the fact that they need to move those dates regardless, so that the bowls and the transfer portal don't line up like that, and so that coaches aren't trying to necessarily look for jobs, because you can all have all the jobs at one time, right, Peach?
Right. And I'm going to say this. With Lane Kiffin, who is surprised by this? He's always been a snake in the grass. Always.
Slithering.
It reminds me of the old Jake the Snake promo. I'm the snake you've always had to worry about. What's in this bag is nothing. He's the snake, guys. He's horrible. He does it, and he keeps
does this everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes, and he's going to do it to LSU too. Mark my words. 2-3 years from now, he's just going to leave them high and dry. Go to the NFL. Go with whatever he's doing, and he's going to do it at the worst time ever. Right. Watch it. I'll bet money on it.
Hey, there's a saying that you can never tell a snake from his head or from his tail. He's going to be a snake when he's coming, and he's a snake when he's going. And I like that thing. His ass is going to fucking do the same thing to them LSU kids. Fuck that.
Go to Virginia Tech. That's what I would do if I was them.
Because that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
What a great reaction, Dirty Mojo. Thank you. The fans really enjoyed.
Sorry, I was mad about that.
Oh, the fans really enjoyed your rant, so thank you for that. J5 Mobile says, let's go Broncos. Shout out for tuning in. I'm not sure if this hot take Jake on a burner line, but I assume it may be. Shout out to big man.
Oh, my cousin.
Okay, look at Buster. Says Dolphins gonna win out and make the playoffs. Shout out Zach family here at the podcast. So
big
I don't
girls
know.
for you and Omar. Let's
highly
go,
doubt
just
that.
like the club.
Not Hammer Jacks. No, I remember the one time
Areola's out.
Omar disappeared. Omar disappeared. I don't know where he went. And then that girl
Areola's
was
out.
there again.
That's hilarious.
It's like one boob covered a whole person.
It was like it just flopped over the sides of my body. I remember the time Zach and I remember one time Zach and I went to a Dolphins game at the Ravens Stadium, and he had his Dolphins blanket, and he was just taunting the whole crowd the whole time, and it was kind of like they were yelling at me like that time outside of Hammer Jacks when everybody was yelling at me. That's great. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Hit that like button, whether watching now or on the replay. It is free to you, but invaluable to us. We move it back into the NFL. We're going to go into, we're going to just loop in a bunch of these games together that were blowouts and the like. So first of all, we had the 25-3 Jaguars victory over the Titans. We had the Bills 26-7 over Clutch B Steelers, which may be a little more important to talk about. I know people are going to want to touch on that one, especially. Seahawks complete blowout of the Vikings 26-0. Obviously, Max Brommer making his, however you say his woo. Thank you. Yeah, who cares? 26-0 there. Does anyone have any thoughts on any of those
No.
three games?
I mean, I kind of want to get Peach to do his pregame announcement before shit start, and I want to hear Lamar's too. But I'll say one thing: throw Justin Jefferson the ball. God dang it, sick of this. I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
God, man.
What about the? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll say this. There was a big win and there was a big loss, and obviously the big win was the Jacksonville Jaguars with the win over the Titans, and the reason why is because the Texans beat the Colts, and that puts them tied for first in the AFC South. Yep. And then you also have that loss for the Steelers. Man, the Steelers, that's a huge loss. Especially Aaron Rodgers going down again. I seen a meme with him in like a SpongeBob meme with the hat on, his busted nose. It's fucking hilarious, man. But yeah, them losing that game when the Ravens won, it kind of could help them out just a little bit. But man, that's a huge loss. Gosh, man. But it was against a better team. So I mean, bigger win for the Jags, man. Yeah.
Huge loss at home, but he was playing with a fractured wrist too, as you mentioned. So go ahead, Peach.
I said that AFC South just got very interesting. 3 teams going for it now with the Texans on a streak, and Jags won a big game, and like you said, the Colts lost again. Speaking of broken hands, I just popped up on my screen that Justin Herbert broke his left hand today. So
jeez,
that's not good for the Chargers.
Right,
opens up the Chiefs.
The Chiefs again. Here we go.
Opens up for the Chiefs again.
But listen. He broke it in the first quarter and still played the whole game.
So that's true. He did come back.
Is it one of the ones that they're going to kind of just like? Is it his hand? Is it like a pinky? His left hand. He throws it.
He had a Nintendo Power Glove on, so he was all right.
We can loop in the Texans there, like y'all mentioned. The Texans beat the Colts 20-16, and that took the Colts, to down to being tied with the Jaguars. So it's going to be a rough and tumble stretch down the division. You also had the Buccaneers over the Cardinals 20-17. You can loop that in with all those games. Only matters really because the Buccaneers needed that game to stay ahead of the other teams, even though it's still a shitty division. And then you had the Panthers 31-28 over the Rams in that the Panthers in that division now 7-6, Buccaneers 7-5. 31-28 victory, Panthers over the Rams. What a good victory for them at home. Does anybody have thoughts on any of those games or the Dolphins beating the Saints 21-17?
Justin, I'm happy for the Carolina fans out there, man.
Yeah,
like, who would have expected this? Especially they thought their quarterback was a busto already, and he's not playing great, but man, like he's showing something this year. And upcoming team, they got a good young receiver. They're winning games. Hell, they're still even in the division race. Who would have thought they'd been in the division race in December? But they are.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It was a really big win for Carolina, but Dion said it at the beginning of the show. They play fantastic at home, and that's been from last year to even this year. They're playing really, really, really good football at home. The Rams had to come from the West Coast to play. That's no excuse for them. They still should have won this game. It was a bad outing by Matthew Stafford. They had a lot of turnovers in the game. Yes, you're right about Bryce Young, but I mean, even from last week, because last week they lost to Carolina. They lost to the 49ers last week, and it goes back to what we've said. He's very, his numbers aren't very high. You know what I'm saying? He's averaging about the 130, 140 yards a game. He had 3 touchdowns today, but it was like 200 yards. So good win for them. Not something that I would, put my hat on that they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but it is a stepping stone for them next year. Maybe them getting in some good free agents that could help build that team in Carolina. So yeah, big hats off to them.
Clever D, any thoughts on any of those games?
Yeah, no, I mean it's just the biggest one to me is the Carolina game, and the fact that Stafford looked like dog shit. I mean, he had some good. Puka Nacua had one of the best catches we've seen all year. That one-handed grab, but there's a pick six, and then a sack fumble, and then there's another interception. I mean, he had 2 interceptions back to back. One was a pick six in the first quarter. So, but it's one of those games. It is what it is. But we'll see what Carolina does. If they can use this momentum to move forward, or they'll just I don't think they'll fall back from this, but it's a good win for them. And like Lamar and I mentioned earlier, they're very good at home. Last year they took the Chiefs to the overtime for that game. So it's for all the Bryce Young haters, you got to mind your tongue for a little while.
And I'm going to say this: the announcers jinx came through, because I don't know if y'all saw, Stafford broke Tom Brady's record for most consecutive touchdown passes, which was 28 without an interception. He breaks the record, and then of course they announce it, and then what happens? He throws a pick. So
Bryce,
he's only been 5 all year.
Bryce Young is Jalen Hurts, but can throw better.
I can see that.
Hurts can run a little more.
Bryce Young is Jalen Hurts, but he can. So
But
you're saying Bryce Young is better than Jalen Hurts?
Just a game manager. It's a game manager.
Jalen Hurts can run the ball.
Hurts cannot throw the ball. Everybody knows
Hurts can't throw the ball.
Sure. He
can run the ball.
Fine, but he's still a better quarterback.
They're small guys.
Leadership abilities.
He has a better team around him too.
A lot better.
That's very true.
He should be throwing for 4,000 yards with those receivers. I'm sorry, they have 2 of the best receivers in football, and he never does it.
That's the reason why they're complaining.
If Bryce Young played for the Philadelphia Eagles team, the Philadelphia Eagles right now would be a better team.
I don't know about that. That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
That's argument for another day. That's
a good one we could bring up in the future, though.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't even need to stay long on my team. My team sucks. We've already talked about this week after week. Not only did we lose to our rival, the Chargers, which I fucking hate, but then we lost when Justin Herbert had a fucking fractured pinky or hand, it turns out. So you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm done with that. I don't care about
Omar.
Yes.
Two Brock Bowers touchdowns, though, like we've been talking about.
Yeah, you know what? I could have used that.
Good.
Could have used that 2 weeks ago when I had my guillotine team that got eliminated because he had 4 points on his comeback. So screw him.
And
screw the Raiders and screw Geno Smith.
Here's more good news for you. It's not good for Lamar, but with the Jets winning, that helps you with your draft. The Jets got to win. So
I'll bring us back to the big screen because we're going to go to everybody's games here. I didn't want to be on the big screen for my game because fuck them. But I do want to be there for this hot take. If you're going to have Geno Smith running around like a chicken with his head cut off every time the damn ball is snapped, and you're going to have a horrid offensive line that you refuse to build through year after year on the draft when the fans continue to keep asking you to build with offensive linemen, then go out and sign fucking Kyler Murray in the offseason. Because at least it don't matter that he's short. He ain't going to have enough time to look over the fucking offensive line anyways. Just scramble out the pocket, make some plays. At least we'd have a lot more fun watching games instead of watching Geno Smith getting tackled every damn down. Because it's not fun to watch right now. Go sign Kyler Murray this offseason and then the march for Arch the next season.
They got a Call of Duty tournament. He'll be there.
You don't want Arch.
Look, man.
Do not want
He'll
Arch.
be fine. Give him another year of seasoning.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people are saying that, but look, he continues to improve. So, all right,
you don't want Arch.
Anyways, well, I don't want any of the quarterbacks they have this year either. That's what I don't want either. We're going to your team, Dirty Mojo. Your Falcons, unfortunately, also lost today, but at least it was a close loss. I can't believe that old man Nick Folk hit that field goal to win the game. 27-24. What are your thoughts?
Bro, like I said, man, I quit as an Atlanta Falcon fan until they fire fucking Raheem fucking Morris. You guys, I've said this since the losing streak began. We have got to be the worst coach team in the NFL. We have got to be the worst coach team in the NFL. I'm going to say a few things that you guys, because you guys probably didn't watch the game. It was a shitty-ass Jets versus shitty-ass fucking Falcons.
I was watching.
Right?
It's on my up there.
Right. Okay, so the Atlanta Falcons special teams. I'm going to call them the SPED teams, right? The Atlanta Falcons SPED teams. Since middle school, there's an unwritten rule. Middle school, high school, college, NFL.
So stupid.
You do not field the punt inside your 10-yard line. You don't do it. You don't do it.
So you're saying there's some traitors on the squad?
Oh, there's some traitors. There's some traitors.
They don't change classrooms. They stay in the same classroom.
They stay in the same
That's
classroom.
what he's saying.
As Ron Simmons would say, damn! Damn!
The bus also picks him at the front of their house. They don't have to walk down
Oh
the
my
street.
goodness!
Oh my god!
But listen.
Damn, Daniel.
He's so weird.
So Agnew tries to fucking field the punt at the 5-yard line and muffs the shit. Okay, so bam, they score a touchdown. Okay, whatever. We go down, we score a touchdown. Listen, I've said this before. The Atlanta Falcons are known for scoring a touchdown or a field goal, and what do the very next drive? Let a team go right down and match what they just fucking did. The Falcons did it twice. Scored a touchdown. 2 plays later, Jets scored a fucking touchdown. The Falcons got a field goal in the beginning of the fourth quarter to go up by 3. What do?
Mm-hmm.
Score a field goal right down after that, right? Atlanta drives down the field, scores with 5.5 minutes to go. What do? Let the fucking kick returner take that bitch 80 yards to get them in range. A couple plays later, they score a fucking touchdown. The Falcons find ways to lose every week. This week, it was the special teams. But here's the crazy story. Here's the crazy stat, guys. When the Jets scored a touchdown to tie the game, there was 1 minute and 43 seconds left to go in the game. Would you be shocked if I told you the Falcons had the ball twice within that minute and 43 seconds? The first time, 3 and out. Punt the ball. We got the ball punted to like the 10-yard line. What do we do the very first play? Sack the quarterback by James Pierce, the kid that we drafted, that we traded our first-round pick for. So I'm okay with us losing our first-round pick because James Pierce is playing phenomenal. I love what he's doing. Sack him. 2 plays later, they punt the ball to where? Our 45-yard line. Guess what we did? 3 and out. We went 3 and fucking out. The Jets got the ball back with 43 seconds left on the clock. That means they've had the ball twice, 1 minute off the clock. Jets go down and score. They kick the field goal to win the game. If Radio Raheem does not fucking get fired, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I cannot stand this shit. They are a very poor coach team. The special teams. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to say. My heart's broken.
Read
Tony
from
Braxton.
sheets. I am
Tony Braxton.
I am
Sofa King.
Sofa
Oh,
King.
God.
We taught it.
God bless. Oh my God, we don't own this. We don't own that. All right, let's keep it moving. You're so crazy.
I need to get a shirt made that says Fire Radio Raheem, bro.
That
Fire
would be a
Zach
good
Robinson. I can't fucking deal with this shit anymore. Should have been fucking Bill Belichick, man.
Yeah, that would be a good shirt actually to wear. To buy.
And just like Peach said, I can't even look at the mocks because I don't have a first round pick. I don't
Yeah, thank you.
Shit about the first round pick. I don't have a first round pick.
All right. Well,
And we got the Seahawks next week. So we're gonna give the Rams another good pick, and we're gonna let the Seahawks win and help Dion's team move further back in the fucking NFC West. Fuck this team, bro.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the great segue. Moving on to Clubber D's team. 49ers beating the Browns 26-8. Clubber D, what are your thoughts? We're just trying to make it quick through these games.
Oh yeah, this will be a quickie. I'll put it like this. I was hoping Canteen be on here. He's a pure prime sexual. I don't want to get on.
He's been wanting to come on, but I guess I didn't watch him today.
He's a big prime sexual, and I get it. You like prime, like what they're doing, but I don't want to go too hard on the kid because I have no problem with Shador Sanders. My dog just what he's doing, but y'all hear that? He like burped or something. Anyways, so I'll say this about Shador Sanders. He just played like a rookie. I mean, he didn't do nothing too great, nothing too bad. It wasn't that awful. You know, they're playing in a terribly windy game. It was a winter mix. The reason they lost the game was because of turnovers. Their punter muffed the punt like twice, and they fumbled right there for us to score. I was happy that Brock didn't turn the ball over because all the Brock haters were on him on Monday night going against the Panthers. But I'll say this: I think Shador should still get another chance, at least a third start. But the Niners did what they were supposed to do, and I'm happy they did it because it was the first time they've won in Cleveland since I think 1985 or 1986.
Oh yeah, I like that shirt.
Wearing a Montana and Rice shirt, you know what I'm saying, and this Pro Bowl from like '94 hat, but it's whatever. But yeah, happy Niners need this win, and Brock Purdy needed to play a game with no turnovers so people would get off his back. People call him Tua Part 2. So
hey, you guys got some sacks today, and you held Myles Garrett to what was it, 1?
He got one sack. I was shocked. I thought we were gonna lose. Now Shanahan is 2-9 versus Jim Schwartz. So there you go.
And there you go.
Give it a whirl. Got to give it a whirl.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we keep it moving. Again, this is just for time because I want to get to college. So
Peach,
just do one person for each of their games. Peach, this is you. Your game coming up tonight. Broncos going into DC for the Commanders. Broncos a 6-point favorite here over the Commanders. Obviously, Jaden Daniels still not playing. That's why. What is your the over/under is 43.5. What's your pick here?
It's gonna go way under. I don't know how we're gonna score against that defense, but at least Terry McLaurin's back, so I get that. Mm-hmm. I get the turncoat is back. I still think we lose, but I think it's gonna be closer because the Denver offense doesn't scare me, even with how horrible our defense is. I'm not scared of their offense, but I am scared of their defense. They'll probably score a defensive touchdown. So if you have them in fantasy, put them in.
That's a good point.
Mariota will probably sack fumble at some point today, and yeah, I don't see us winning, but I think it's going to be close. I do think it's close.
All right, scores for the game, Dirty Mojo.
Washington Commanders game against Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Low scoring game. 20-10. 20-10 Denver.
Right. Liberty.
I got oh, damn, Peach missed it. He missed that one too. The inside joke. I got 17-9 Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to kind of go with Marcus Mariota having a good game here and upsetting the Broncos, but Peach, you didn't bring any exuberance or any enthusiasm, so you're making me think there's no chance for y'all to win tonight.
I just don't see us moving the ball against that. That defense is really good, and our offense has been struggling so bad.
Yeah.
And
all right. Well,
even though I don't have faith in the Broncos offense, our defense is just so bad. They're going to score some points, and I don't know if we'll be able to score more than 20, which is what you're going to need.
We'll go 20. We'll go 21-10, 21-7, something like that. Kind of like the shitty game that they played against the Raiders. Or no, that was like 12-10. Never mind. It's even worse. All right, moving it into Monday night. It was 10-7. Thank you. Moving into Monday night. Giants going into Patriots. Obviously, Giants a shitty team, 2-10. Don't really have anything to play for, but Patriots still playing to keep that number 1 seed in the AFC. It is a 7-point New England favorite, which I thought it would have been a lot more than that. I thought it would have been at least 10. 46.5 is the over/under. Clubber D, we'll start with you on this one.
I don't know why they're hyping this up like this is a rivalry from the Super Bowl. They're trying to say like, oh, the old rivals are dead.
Like the Bill Parcells days?
Yeah, nobody care about the Giants right now. They're terrible. Drake May is gonna the world's gonna see how good Drake May is. That game's gonna be I'll say 28 to we'll give them 12. Patriots.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an ass whooping around that 28-14, something like that. So I'll agree with you, Dirty Mojo.
No, I don't believe so, man. Listen, I'll be the odd man out. I think the Giants will pull this one off. Jack Stark's coming back. The offense is playing, actually pretty decent with receiving the ball. Listen, man, hey, let's go. I mean, they're playing. I
like it.
Pretty decent with the way they're. You know what I'm saying? I like the Giants to come out there and have some fun and nothing to lose. Sling the ball around, go for it on fourth downs, fake punts, fake field goals, everything like that. Just go ahead and try to steal a win. I think it will be a high scoring game. I'll go 28-27 New York Giants with the upset.
Peach.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us on this Monday Eve. I think New England will win, but I do agree with Lamar. It'll be a close game because that's what the Giants play. They've been playing close games for the past month, right? I mean, I think they're going to blow it in the fourth quarter again. That's just their MO this year. Get a lead, blow it, and late in the game. So I do think New England wins, and I'll say 24-21. New England.
First of all, if you're going to do it right. Thanksgiving Eve. And yes, I did it on purpose, so don't try that. Anyways, keeping it moving, because I know that's what that was. Don't try it.
Yes, of course.
I know. I'm not stupid. I know. I did it on purpose. Anyways, let's move it into college before we get it. What?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not what?
Go ahead. Go to college on purpose.
I mean, it was. If I remember. All right, whatever. So I didn't do it. I'm literally quoting it back to you, but I didn't do it. Okay, that makes a lot of nonsense. All right, moving into college. Let's look at it. Conference championships. Fox, shout out to them for this one. Power 4 matchups. ACC, Duke versus Virginia. Big 10, Indiana versus Ohio State. Big 12, BYU versus Texas Tech. And Dirty Mojo in the SEC. Your Georgia Bulldogs going up against Alabama. And then on the right side there, we have all the other conference championship games, which will come into play in terms of seeding for the playoffs. So go ahead, Dirty Mojo. We'll start with you since you're the Georgia fan here. What do you got on any of these games?
Listen, I like all the matchups. I know a lot of people are upset with Duke getting in there with their record being a 7-5 record. And you know what I'm saying, other teams in the ACC that had a better record, somehow they squeaked by with the tiebreakers. It's too hard to figure out how the hell they got through with the tiebreakers. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to the Indiana Ohio State game. I know a lot of people might get mad at me, but in my opinion, Ohio State didn't look very good against Michigan. I mean, as far as like, I'm sorry, I don't want to say they didn't look good. They didn't look dominating against Michigan. And I don't think Michigan was a very good team in to begin with. They're a very young team, freshman and sophomore team. I think they're going to be good over the next few years. I do think Indiana is going to go out there and they're going to put a lot of points upon Ohio State. So I got Indiana winning that game. I got Virginia winning that Duke game. Texas Tech should have no problem with BYU, but it's going to be a fun game to watch. Texas Tech scores a lot of fucking points, so watch that one. You know what I mean? Go Dogs, sick 'em. The good thing with this game for me on my side is that we have the potential to knock Alabama out of the fucking playoffs. If we beat Alabama, then Alabama, a 3-loss team, I don't think they make the playoffs. If we lose to them, we're still in the playoffs. I don't know where we'll be seated, but we lost to them by a field goal where Kirby Smart should have went for it on fourth down. You know how we talked about it. We hate those going for it on fourth downs when you just try to take the points. It's gonna be an interesting week next week because of what's going on in the ACC with teams like Miami and teams that are trying to get into the top 12, with the top 10 being those with obviously who's in there, but then the top 10 being the at-larges and stuff like that. It's gonna be a fun week to watch next week. If I were you guys, man, I would buckle in, pop some popcorn, get some good beers, and sit down and watch because it's gonna be an exciting Saturday.
There you go. Shout out Snail says go Bama.
Oh man,
obviously. Dion, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar pretty much covered it all. I'm only gonna tune in to probably maybe the Georgia and Ohio State game. We all know that JMU is gonna jump in there.
Yeah,
if Duke wins, that adds some little parity to it because Miami's like scratching at the bit to be in there, but it's everything's we pretty much know who's going to win, and we're kind of expecting. We all know what to expect. I would say it's probably for me at least. The ACC game, obviously the Ohio State versus Indiana, and Georgia Alabama game. Those are kind of the three I'm really going to kind of tune into. Yeah, so I want to see the outcome of those.
I could say this, Omar. College football needs to split the divisions back up. because you can't have this one big division and then the two best teams make it. They got to go back to having the two separates and then the two top teams and those separate ones play for the championship, because this is like literally I can't tell you what the fucking tiebreakers were that got a 7-5 Duke team over an 8-2.
It's stupid.
A 10-2. I don't know how that shit happened. It's weird to me. I don't like that way. I mean, a friend of mine is a wide receiver coach for Duke. Shout out to Zon Burden from Virginia. You know what I'm saying, out here. I mean, he's a good guy.
Tech.
Yeah, he used to coach at Tech. But I mean, I want to see the best teams in these conference championships games, and I think UVA had already beat Duke once this year, so it's not something that I'm looking forward to seeing. I would have liked to have seen a UVA Miami game, to be honest with you, but that's just me. They got to back up.
Yeah, well, as I've been saying for a while, it's really not going to matter because eventually they're going to go to super conferences where they have either 32 or even 64 conference teams. I doubt it ever gets that large, but you never know with the future. But at least 32 super conference teams, even though I dislike Chip Kelly very much. He's talked about that as well. And it's eventually going to happen in college football. There's no way, especially with the ACC this year and how weak it was to try to get their teams even into the playoffs. If they weren't considered a Power 4 team, they probably wouldn't even, they'd be very much hurting to try to get in a team in the group of 5 if that's where they were. So the ACC is really losing relevance as the years go on, and that's why the SEC and the Big 12 has been trying to, or Big 10, excuse me, has been trying to kind of formulate these super conferences where they can push out the ACC and even the Big 12 if they were able to, which they're currently not, because the Big 12 has been making moves under Brett Yormark. That being said, I got Georgia finally. I guess I shouldn't say finally, but in terms of a team that won a national championship over another team, aside from that, Alabama usually plays y'all pretty well. So Georgia there. I think BYU has a good chance to upset Texas Tech, but we'll see. I think Texas Tech at home, they got a good atmosphere. I'm not going against Ohio State at all. I'm just rooting for Virginia because we are all from there. But Duke possibly, whatever, could have the better team. I know you're a Virginia Tech fan. And then as well, the ones on the right, like I said, those all just play into the seeding. So if y'all are looking at those, I'm not going to pick them, but that's what would actually help, as in who we're going to win. They'd have a better chance in getting to the actual playoffs, which we're going to see here in a couple weeks. But next week are the conference championship games. And so those are your Power 4.
Hey, but this is another thing. I know we talked about it with LSU. The Tulane coach left Tulane to go to Florida. So I mean, it's another thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Tulane should beat North Texas and win that win the American Conference. And then as far as JMU is concerned, they're gonna trounce.
Yeah,
Troy, whatever. They're gonna crush them. So those teams should get the bids as the at-larges. But I don't like the fact that the Tulane coach is leaving right before probably the biggest game of those kids' career and the chance to play in the college football playoffs. Man, I just don't like that shit, man. NCAA, do something about this, man. Don't let these coaches talk to these other schools until their season is complete and done and over with, man. It's not right. It's not right. I don't like it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Hit that like button whether watching now or on the replay. Dirty Mojo, do you have any other final thoughts other than NCAA change? Okay, you really got to stop. Oh my God. Anyways, Dion.
Yeah, Clubber D, YouTube. Check me out. Because your mama did.
And again, there's a handy QR code up there at the top. All the Ball and Bud socials. Make sure you scan that QR code. And again, hit that like button whether watching now on the replay. We really appreciate you tuning in. And as always, for wherever the hell Peach went, you can find him at PeachOMania on X, especially if you're a Bears fan. So you can go attack him there right now as the game is starting. Other than that, as for everybody else, I am Omar, the sports professor Fonseca. Subscribe to Ball and Buds. We are out. Peace.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist. Yo, I got that Ric Flair figure four. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat, don't beat close. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing the Ballin' Bud 703 Boys Crew, Clubber D, Dirty Mojo, Shane Peach, and the Sports Professor. Welcome to Sunday Showdown.